Hello, my name is Bethany at Gorgeous Gifts in Cary, Ohio, and I'm going to show you how I construct our succulent arrangements so that we can put rocks and moss in the front of the arrangements and build rivers and paths and different decorative options here in the front. Today I'm just going to do a simple one, much like this back here, where this whole front part is covered in rocks and it has this memorial stone here. So I went through the decision-making process to pick these plants, and what I usually suggest is that you pick something, your favorite taller plant for the back, and then you can fill in with something that contrasts that plant on the sides, and you want to make sure you don't go too much higher or as high as the one in the back so that you have a little cascade down. This arrangement will sit in a window and it will get sun from here. So to prevent the need to turn the pot in the window, you design it so that their faces are facing towards the sun. So I chose these two on the sides because of their height and contrast to the variegated plant in the back. And I chose this as my centerpiece. It has a different texture and it sets itself off between the other three, so you can see the beauty of each plant because none of them are so close to the same color that they blend together. So this is a bowl that does not have drainage in it. And you can plant succulents in bowls that don't have drainage, but you need to mind your soil. And also when planting in bowls with drainage, you still need to mind your soil. These roots here, these are generally root bound. They've got roots all around the outside. So when I lift them up, and that is the case, I know that I can put up to 2 inches of soil around it. So this is going to be fine having soil underneath it, and it will not have too much soil retaining moisture around it where the roots won't grow. So that one, I will put soil around it. These like to be pretty root bound, these Haworthia. It's not going to hurt it to put soil right underneath it, but I'm going to keep it back here and I'll fill the soil up here at the bottom. This one isn't quite as full of roots as this other one, but it will be helped getting moisture out of the soil by its neighbor over here. So I'm going to tilt this one this way and I'll put dirt behind it, but I will put stone in front of it. So I know that I'm just going to use the back half based on how much soil I want to put around these root balls. So I use lava rock, which you can just get at your local home improvement store. I put lava rock in the big voids, and the roots of the succulents will grow into the lava rocks if they ever get to them. They typically grow down. They aren't growing forward in the pot. But if they choose to go there, they will just grow right in there. All right, I think that's probably good on the lava rock there. So I'll first start in the back, and I will plant my biggest one back here. And I always try to find their face. So this one looks like it has the most leaves facing this way. And it doesn't have a super strong base, so I might use a rock or two to hold it in the place where I want it if this Haworthia doesn't hold it in its place. So we just want a little bit of soil back here. And I will show you how the watering works on this as soon as I get them all in their places. And a little soil over here. That one's gonna need some friends to hold it up. That's in good place. I'm gonna need more lava rock in the front now, but that's okay. So as you can see, I'm kind of creating a little dirt planter here in the back and leaving it rocks up in the front. I want to make sure that these are facing out. Their faces are looking at the sun. I probably want to distance this a little bit so I can fit this guy in here. So these root systems can all help each other out, sharing the water that gets into this soil, sucking it up. I'm gonna hold this up here. Alright, you guys just stay in your places. I want to bring this. So I want to bring this forward a little bit. So I'm going to go back here. And just tuck a rock in here. And I can do something different with that a little bit later, but I want to get the right look up here. Alright, got dirt under those, but not too much. Okay, so my dirt there is set. Too big. All right, so that we can put some small rock decorations on top of this, we need to create a flat surface. So this is pea gravel, also can be found at your local home improvement store. And it can also be used to really set them in the place where you want them. Once the pea gravel is in there, you can get a little bit more nuanced about its placement. And the roots will also grow into this pea gravel. You can also lift these up a little bit, try and get them kind of to pot height. You don't want them to be sinking down into the pot. So get them positioned. Then I have this fun little friend here. You can get these on my Gorgeous Gifts Ohio Etsy shop. I really enjoy them. And I chose black so that it looks like he is coming out of the blacktop. And you want to make sure that you put your topping soil up underneath the leaves so that it looks like that is the ground that it is growing out of. And it also helps give a nice sharp contrast between the leaves and the bottom here. It helps make the succulents stand out. I also make sure that you bring the top dressing all the way up to the edge of your bowl so that it looks like a flat plane. That looks cleaner and more complete than when you leave it down in the bowl. Seems more like a landscape. You can make it nice and level at the bowl edge. All right, so there you can see the rocks in the front and then where the dirt starts here in the back. And I actually need to put some dirt back here, and then I'll put some pea gravel that will probably help hold this where I want it. Just a bit of dirt right in here. I also put a light layer of rocks in the back to cover the soil and keep it from floating, because succulent soil is very lightweight. And I get the Miracle Grow succulent soil, and then I mix perlite with it so that it has additional drainage properties. You don't want to mix too much perlite with it though, because how I'm going to tell you to water this is a precise watering, and you want to saturate the soil that's there, and you want the soil to be just organic enough to suck up the amount of water that you put in it. All right, so that dirt holds that in the place where I wanted it to be. Then I will just add some of this black that I put in the front on the back here to keep that from floating up. You don't want to put too much rock on top of soil because it does retain the moisture, but these little lightweight small rocks can serve a small purpose, keeping that soil from floating on you, which can be a little obnoxious when you go to water it. All right, so you know to water a succulent based on the firmness of its leaf. This succulent is very firm. I just watered it yesterday, maybe the day before, and it's really full of water. It doesn't have any give, and it's really firm. This one stays firm most of the time. Sometimes I will shake their leaves to see if they're losing some moisture, but these Haworthia will hold their moisture for so long that I may not need to pay much attention to this one needing specifically watered. It will probably pull in a little bit of moisture from the ones around it getting watered, and that will keep it happy. If these ever move a lot and have some give to them, then I will focus on this plant. But I use these direct squeeze watering bottles. They are fabulous for watering arrangements. So as you can see, we've got this one, this purple one that I've already watered. This one I was watering right before I picked it, so it can be moist in here. It's still taking up a little bit of water. So I will squeeze this little bottle for 8 to 10 seconds. And you'll notice that you're not really gonna see too much happening down here, because 8 to 10 seconds is about the water that I want this one to have. So it will saturate the soil right here, and I'll check it again in 2 days. I'll squeeze the leaves, and if they are not firm, then I'll do it again. But I don't want to pour a bunch of water into this vessel that does not have a drainage hole. If you have a drainage hole, then you can slowly water at the base of the one that you want to water until it comes out the drainage hole. And in that event, you need to make sure that the soil gets wet enough that the plant can take it up. If you water a plant that has nearly hydroponic soil, because succulents get watered so infrequently, and it has a drainage hole, then your water could roll off the soil and go through the drainage hole and not actually get to the plant. So when you think, I just watered it, it's not a water problem, it could be that your water is not actually exposed to the dirt long enough to suck up into the dirt and then get to the plant. So you need to consider that when you have drainage holes. Sometimes you might need to cover the drainage hole and let the water set in it for a minute and soak it up. So this one has very slight amount of give, but it's so slight that I don't want to put that much water in it. I'm just going to moisten it a small amount here so you can see it kind of travel down the side here. And it's good to have a shallow pot where you can have soil underneath it as opposed to rocks, because when you put rocks down here, it creates a little reservoir where the water goes down and sits in the rocks. And if you put 1/4 of a cup in here and wanted it to go to this succulent, it would get caught up in the rocks. But if you have a column of soil where it can wick up to the plant, then you could put 1/4 of a cup in here, which is a precise watering or a 8 to 10 squeeze count. You put in what you want for this succulent, and it will suck up from the bottom here. So by watering it over here, you're getting this wet. And then when the middle needs watered, you get this middle section wet. And over here, the same. You want to keep it kind of over in this section of the pot so that you don't overwater the neighbors trying to fill one up with water. This is an awesome solution for watering succulent arrangements. So there you have it. Our little raccoon in a manhole succulent arrangement in a pot without drainage. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.